Hello, I'm Valeria Ferrario and today I'm going to talk about my research project on reciprocal food sharing in tufted capuchin monkeys. For a long time, the proximate mechanisms underlying cooperation, those mechanisms that answer the question what motivates animals to behave cooperatively, have been little studied. In the last few years, three possible proximate mechanisms have been hypothesized. The first one is called hardwired reciprocity, and it's a fixed response mechanism that requires little cognitive skills. The receipt of a favor induces the receiver to automatically reciprocate the favor. The second one is called emotionally based reciprocity. According to this mechanism, the receipt of cooperation triggers positive emotions towards the giver. These emotions then stimulate the reciprocation of cooperation. The third one is called calculated reciprocity and is the mechanism that we investigated in this study. According to this hypothetical mechanism, animals help partners motivated by the expectation of a future return of the favor. This is the mechanism that requires the most advanced cognitive skills because it presupposes a capability of future thinking. In order to test if the expectation of reciprocation could motivate cooperation, we tested monkeys under conditions that allowed or did not allow reciprocation. We set up two different experimental conditions and tested each pair of monkeys 20 times, 10 per condition. Monkeys were tested in two adjacent cages divided by a wire mesh through which animals could share food. The first condition is called reciprocity. It consists of two 6-minute phases, a first phase in which the subject was given some carrot that could be shared with the partner, and a second phase in which the partner was given some apple that could be shared with the subject, that is, the partner could reciprocate. Note that apple is always preferred over carrot. In the first phase, when the subject was given its carrot, we put some apple close to the partner so that it was visible but not reachable by either of the animals. With the beginning of the second phase, we handed the apple to the partner. In both phases, we counted the sharing events that occurred between the animals. The second experimental condition, control, consisted of a single 6-minute phase. In this condition, the subject was given some carrot that could be shared with the partner, but the partner did not have any apple close by. At the end of the first phase, the test was concluded, so that the partner could not reciprocate. Again, we counted the number of transfers of food from the subject to the partner. If, in the first phase, the subject is motivated to share its carrot by the expectation of receiving apple in return during the second phase, then we expect to observe more food transfers in the reciprocity condition, where reciprocation is possible, than in the control one, where reciprocation is not possible. First, we analyze the relationship between food transfers in the two phases in the reciprocity condition. We found that the amount of food given by the subject to the partner in the first phase predicted the amount of food given by the partner to the subject in the second phase. This result shows that, at least theoretically, the subject could manipulate its partner's behavior to obtain more apple by simply giving him more carrot in the first phase. Second, we compared food transfers in the two experimental conditions. The first graph shows that monkeys did not increase food sharing in the reciprocity condition compared to the control one. The second graph shows that food transfers did not increase along successive tests more in the reciprocity condition than in the control condition. We conclude that capuchin monkeys share food frequently and in a highly reciprocated manner, but that in the expectation of reciprocation do not motivate them to share food. So, there is a form of reciprocity, even if animals could not understand the possible future rewards of cooperation. Reciprocal food sharing in capuchin monkeys, therefore, is not based on calculated reciprocity, but must be sustained by a different proximate mechanisms, presumably emotionally based reciprocity. Thank you for the attention.